Okay, as I say, I feel like you've seen me like every year. And then team 24511 Tiger Octobots. On the Red Alliance side, we have team 23802 Random Engineer and team 12966 Seagull Robotics. Thumbs up from ref and our FAV crew. That means we are ready to go. Match begins in 3, 2, 1, go. 3 robots moving on the field. Fear the Gear on the Blue Alliance lining up with a high basket. Unfortunately, their sample misses. Seagull Robotics getting one into their high chamber. Their teammates, Random Engineers, lining themselves up and just parking in the observation zone for those points. Fear the Gear, unfortunate attempt at a sample. One making it into the high basket. Unfortunately, their second attempt to grab one does miss. Going to try and grab a third if they can. Unfortunately, it looks like their claw did not get low enough to pick it up. 3 seconds remaining in autonomous.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And teleop has begun. Drivers are now in control of the robots for the remainder of the match. Seagull Robotics on the Red Alliance side, grabbing a sample, getting it into the high basket. Their teammates, Random Engineers, patiently waiting their turn to throw a sample into that high basket as well. Fear the Gear, grabbing a sample, getting it back into their high basket. Another one into the high basket from the Blue Alliance. Their teammates, Tiger Octobots, trying to get as many blue samples over to the observation zone as they can. A specimen waiting patiently. Fear the Gear grabbing a sample from the submersible, throwing it into that high basket. Just under a minute and a half remaining. Fear the Gear grabbing another one from the submersible, unfortunately dropping it in the meantime. Seagull Robotics for the Blue Red Alliance side, dumping a sample into their high basket and going to grab another one from the submersible. Doing so successfully, both Red and Blue Alliance back and forth from the submersible to that high basket. A minute remaining in the match. Teams still have plenty of time to try and score as much as they can. Unfortunately, those baskets look like they're getting pretty full. Going to have to be very careful. Going to add a ninth, unfortunately, falls out. 2 specimens, and now a third being added by the Tiger Octobots to that high chamber. Seagull Robotics for the Red Alliance lining themselves up with the low rung. Their partners, Random Engineers, lining up with the high rung. Blue Alliance side trying to line themselves up as time runs out. Looks like Fear the Gear got themselves in the air. Just a reminder, following the results of this qualification match, will officially begin the lunch break period. There is a concession stand to the side if your team did not order in. Otherwise, matches will re-begin at 12:45. Scores are in from qualification match number 11. It is a Red Alliance win. 133 to 117. 2 very high scoring alliances. No foul points. Just a reminder, we will be on lunch break till 12:45. If you are in qualification match number 12 and 13, please make sure you are queued up and ready to go by 12:40. Thank you. Attention, 5-minute warning for your returning matches after lunch. All right, everybody. Where is it? There we go. Welcome back from lunch. We're going to start meeting the teams here for qualification. Match number 12 over here on field number 2. On the Blue Alliance, we have team 26-551 KISS and team 10-100 Phoenix Force. Over on the Red Alliance, we have team 24-297 the Ghost Tigers and team 18-571 the Robo Wolves. All right, let's start our first qualification match after lunch. Qualification match number 12 begins in 3, 2, 1, go. And that begins the autonomous period for qualification match number 12. Looks like 2 robots moving for the Blue Alliance, 1 for the Red Alliance. Ghost Tigers lining themselves up, getting a sample into that high basket for the Red Alliance. Blue Alliance side, 1 specimen on that high chamber, a second one coming in from KISS. Gonna line themselves up with their human player to try and get a third one if they can. It's in their hands, 5 seconds remaining. Are they gonna get it scored before the end of autonomous? And they do so successfully.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And that begins teleop. Drivers are now in control of the robots for the remainder of the match. Red Alliance, Robo-Wolves lining themselves up with the high basket. Their teammates doing a good job to get out of the way so that their teammates can score into that high basket. KISS for the Blue Alliance getting a sample into that high basket. Heading over to the submersible. Going to grab a specimen from their human player in the observation zone. Heading over and trying to score it onto that high chamber. Red Alliance side. Robo-Wolves continuing to score into the chamber. Or into the high basket. Their teammates trying to line up, Ghost Wolves trying to line up with a specimen, getting it successfully from the human player, heading over to the chambers. Going to try and get themselves a score on that high chamber, and they do so successfully. 70 seconds remaining in the match. Blue Alliance already currently having 5 specimens on that high chamber. In their attempt to place a 6th one, they accidentally knock one off, keeping them at 5. Thankfully for them, that specimen can still be picked up by the human player when it's in the observation zone, giving them a new opportunity to score it. A 6th specimen added for the Blue Alliance. Red Alliance continuing to score into that high basket. Phoenix Force trying to grab blue samples out of the submersible for their teammates. 40 seconds remaining in the match. Another specimen entering the Red Alliance observation zone, getting picked up by the Ghost Wolves. Ghost Wolves trying to get that specimen out of the high chamber, and they do so successfully, hearing it click on. Just under 30 seconds remaining. Teams have the opportunity now to climb onto their rungs if they choose to do so. KISS going to try and get one more specimen on that chamber, and they do so successfully. 13 seconds remaining. Robo-Wolves up for the Red Alliance. Blue Alliance looks like 1 robot up for KISS. 3 seconds remaining. All 4 robots stopped. Controllers are down. Drivers, please hit stop. Drivers, please hit stop. All right, while we wait for results from that match, let's meet the teams. Hold on. Let's meet the teams for out there for both alliances. All right, thumbs up from everybody means we are good to start qualification match number 13. Match begins in 3. Drivers are now in control of their robots for the remaining 2 minutes of the match. On the Red Alliance side, I'm Not a Robot trying to grab a sample from the floor. A new crash and burn. Heading over to try and grab a sample if they can. Blue Alliance side, Shipwrecked, headed for that high basket, and they get so successfully. Their teammates, Ram Robotics, had a specimen in hand, unsure what they're going to decide their decision with it is to do. Another specimen waiting there from the human player if they decide to use it. 1.5 minutes still remaining. Sometimes these matches go very quick for the teams. Shipwreck getting another sample into that high basket. Red Alliance crash and burn lining up with a sample in hand, going for the high basket. And they do so successfully. Shipwreck, though, right there behind them with their own in their high basket. Just over a minute remaining in this match. Shipwreck grabbing another sample placed from I'm Not a Robot in their high basket for the Red Alliance. Score is very, very close right now as teams continuing to score. Both alliances very close as they continue to use the high basket. No specimens currently scored in this match. 40 seconds remaining in the match. One more sample into the high basket from Shipwrecked. Another sample into the high basket from the Red Alliance as well. 30 seconds remaining in the match as I'm Not a Robot adds another sample to their high basket. Currently 5 in the high basket from the Blue Alliance, 4 for the Red Alliance. Very close scores here. These last 15 seconds will be very important to the match to determine our victor. Both Red Alliance robots parked into their ascension zone. Blue Alliance 1 lining up right now. Graham Robotics, Blue Alliance trying to get another sample in if they can, and they unfortunately miss, but they do get into the ascension zone in time to park. Results from qualification match are in qualification 13. It is a Red Alliance win, 52-43. A huge lead there for the Red Alliance from their autonomous points. All right, let's meet our team qualification match number 14. On the Blue Alliance, we have team 24-511 Tiger Octobots and team 6984 Stempocalypse Awakened. On the Red Alliance, we have team 24-543 Innovation School and team 22-526 Fondi Fire Tech. Thumbs up all around means match begins in 3, 2, 1, go. One robot for the Red Alliance, Fondi Fire Tech, heading straight forward to that high chamber, successfully getting a specimen on it. Their human player adding a second one to the field wall. On the Blue Alliance side, looks like neither robot has moved. They still have 15 seconds, though, left in that autonomous period for their robot to park if they choose to do so. Fondi Fire Tech, another specimen in hand, over to that high chamber, successfully placing that one on as well. 5 seconds remain. Fondi Fire heading over to their observation zone to park.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Drivers are now in control of the robots for the remainder of the match. Fondi Fire Tech lining themselves up, trying to get their samples, the Alliance-specific samples, into their observation zone so the human player can turn them into specimens. Innovation School for the Red Alliance are throwing a sample into their low basket. On the Blue Alliance side, Tiger Octobots dropping a sample into the high basket. Stempocalypse pushing some samples into their, picking up a specimen from their human player. Going to try and line themselves up with their chamber, and they do so successfully, getting it on the high chamber. A minute 20 remaining in the match. Tiger Octobots throwing another sample into that high basket. Innovation School throwing one in for the Red Alliance as well. Both Fondi Fire lining up with another specimen for that high chamber as the sound for endgame begins. Teams now have the option to climb if they choose to do so. Tiger Octobots putting another sample into that high basket. Their teammates, Stempocalypse Awakened, lining up for that low rung. Breaking themselves up, they are up in the air. Drivers choosing to set their controllers down. Their partners, Tiger Octobots, going up as well. Going to try and keep themselves in the air for the remaining 3 seconds. No one up for the Red Alliance quite yet as time runs out. Heading back over to field one, let's meet the teams of our next qualification match. Qualification match number 15. On the Blue Alliance side, we have team 10760, Raiders of the Lost Bot. And team 21737, Green Eggs and Program. On the Red Alliance side, we have team 23802, Random Engineers. And team 19927, Dukes Robotics. And with that, we have results from qualification match number 14, and it is a Red Alliance win, 93-82.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Drivers now in control of the robots for the remaining 2 minutes of the match. One specimen scored onto that high chamber from Green Eggs and Program, already going back to their human player to pick up a second one. Their teammates, Raiders of the Lost Bot, trying to grab a sample. Dukes Robotics for the Red Alliance heading over to take the neutral sample that was near the Blue Alliance members, going to head over to their baskets to score it. Adding a third sample to that high basket. A minute and a half remaining in the match. Another specimen scored on the high chamber from the Blue Alliance, Green Eggs and Program. Raiders of the Lost Bot accidentally holding 2 samples in their hand. Going to try and drop them as they can. They do so successfully. Red Alliance going back and forth on that high basket for both Dukes Robotics and Random Engineers. Unfortunately, one sample missing that top. Thankfully for the Red Alliance, Dukes right there to put another one in. Just under a minute remaining. Green Eggs and Program adding another specimen to their high chamber and going to grab another one from their human player. Red Alliance going back and forth between the two members, trying to get as many samples into that high basket as they can. 5 specimens on that high rung or high chamber from the Blue Alliance. Green Eggs and Program sample in hand, heading over towards their basket. It's going to line up with the high basket. And successfully dropping it in as 30 seconds remain in the match. Random Engineers for the Red Alliance, another sample in hand, lining up with their high basket, getting it in there successfully. Looks like the way they put that one in shifted the rest of the samples in down so that they had more space. 12 seconds remaining in the match. Still no teams lined up on the rungs yet. Looks like Random Engineers is going to line themselves up with the high rung. 3 seconds remaining. Random Engineers looks like they're going up. Duke's parking, and time runs out. All right, let's meet the teams for qualification. Match number 16 over here on field number 2. On the Blue Alliance, we have team 6426, the Robo Hodegs, and team 12966, Seagull Robotics. On the Red Alliance, we have team 16252, Rutrow Robotics, and team 16746, the Atlanteans. Results are in from qualification match number 15. It is a Red Alliance win 124 to 88. Very close points there in the teleop section that you can see, but that autonomous really put them over the edge. Thumbs up all around means teams are now ready to go. Match begins. 2, 1, go. Robotics for the Blue Alliance making a quick start, already putting a sample into their high basket. Going to pick up a second one right away. And they successfully drop another one in there. Going to pick up another one from Siegel. Red Alliance, front row, grabbing a specimen from their human player and putting it onto the high chamber. Going to pick up a second one, successfully scoring a second as well. 5 seconds remaining in autonomous. Siegel's last attempt at a sample unfortunately does miss. Rutrose as well.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Very close scores as we begin the Siegel Robotics. Looks like they were going to try and grab something from the submersible, but having some connectivity issues. Looks like they're back up and connected to their robot. Hopefully they stay connected for the remainder of the match, but it does sound like they're having some stuttering. One minute remaining in the match. 5 specimens currently scored for the Red Alliance on that high rung. Siegel Robotics, another sample in hand, lining up with their basket, successfully placing it into that high basket. 8 samples currently in that high basket for the Blue Alliance. 40 seconds remaining in the match. Rutrow lining up for a sample from the submersible. Siegel, another sample into that high basket. Their teammates are trying and make sure they can do what they can to support their team. All right, guys, scores from that last match are here. And it is a Blue Alliance win. However, if you look over at our head referee on field number 2, you will see he's holding up a yellow card. Unfortunately, a yellow card has been given to team 16746, the Atlanteans, due to rule G410 for controlling 3 samples at the same time.
Attention in the stands. The concession stand would like you to know that whole pizzas are now on sale for half price. Thank you.
All right, thumbs up all around. Means qualification match number 17 is ready to begin.